Hey Hoopheads, Happy New Year! Brad here with another breakdown, and today I want to talk about the Raptors defense in their 117-97 win over the Cavs. In this game, the Raptors were led by Lowry's 24 points and 8 assists, Serge had 20 and 10, Terence Davis tied his career high with 19 points, Fred had 12 points, 7 assists, 4 blocks, OG had 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting coming off the bench for the first time this season. And with this win, the Raptors have a defensive rating of 103.9, which is second in the league. Let's get into it. On this play, as Kevin Love comes off the screen at the top, Rondé does a good enough job of getting over it that the shot isn't there. Then as the ball goes to Sexton, Fred is going to help down into the lane. He gets a hand on this ball and deflects it out of bounds. Nice work by Fred to break up the play there. And then on this play, Fred with the over-enthusiastic closeout lets Garland get into the lane. He kicks it out to the wing. Lowry with a good attempt at a closeout, but really it's too late. The Cavs just missed the shot, and that was kind of a theme with the Cavs. Their offense wasn't going tonight, and they didn't really make the Raptors pay for defensive mistakes. Here, kind of a similar thing as Rondé gets hung up on the Tristan Thompson screen. Kyle Lowry has to stay glued to Kevin Love. That means it's Osman against Serge, plus Thompson streaking to the rim. That means Fred has to drop down into the paint. The ball goes out to Fred's man. Fred tries to close out, and the Cavs just brick the shot again. And then here, as Kevin Porter works against OG Anunoby, Tristan Thompson comes up to set the screen. That frees up Porter. He shoots a contested 15-footer, and the Raps were pretty happy to live with that. It keeps the ball out of Kevin Love's hands, which is one of your main goals as a defense. Here, Rondé with a little bit of pressure on Kevin Love. He gives the ball to Dellavedova, who tries to go at OG Anunoby, who does a great job of shutting off this drive. Then on the weak side, Rondé and Kevin Love battling for position. Kevin Love gets a little bit off balance, so when Tristan Thompson throws the pass, it goes out of bounds. Solid effort by the Raps there. Here, as Kevin Love gets the ball in the post, Fred VanVleet is going to come down for the double. That's something they did a lot this game. Kevin Love, not the greatest ball handler. He tries to throw the ball back out to the top, but Matthew Dellavedova has relocated slightly, and that's a backcourt violation. Nice ball pressure from Fred there. Here, Cleveland is on the attack, moving the ball pretty well. OG and Kyle Lowry with a nice switch here. Larry Nance takes this as an opportunity to try to post up Kyle. Lowry fronts him, and as the pass comes over the top, Boucher rotates over to deflect the ball and break up the play. Lowry with a nice bit of pressure on Exum. He kicks the ball to John Henson, and Chris Boucher with a nice shot contest, and that's a solid defensive possession for the Raptors. Here, Sexton gets a step on Terence Davis, gets into the lane, kicks it to the corner. Oshae Brissett, nice mobility to stay with Dante Exum here. He tries to throw a tricky pass. Boucher scoops it up, nice pressure again. And then on this play, as OG switches on to Colin Sexton, check out how low in his stance he gets. Then as Sexton backs off, he relaxes his stance a little bit. And then when Sexton gets rid of the ball, check out how low he gets again on this ball denial. Ready to change direction at a moment's notice. The Cavs end up putting up the three with Boucher contesting. On the offensive rebound, Nance gets it, but Davis and Lowry combine to take it away. The Raps get out in transition. TD puts up a three, no good, but Boucher is there on the putback, and he was a monster on the offensive boards for a stretch in this second quarter. On this play, he gets 2 offensive rebounds. The first one just him on the weak side with nice position. That's great work. And then as OG dives to the basket as the Raptors rework it here, check out the way Boucher moves into position to get his hands on this ball. He gets fouled on the board, and he injected a lot of energy into the team when they started to pull away in this game in the second. Now off the inbound, as Colin Sexton gets into the lane, check out how much the Raptors are packing the paint with the Cavs' limited shooting. The ball goes out to Kevin Porter Jr., and Oshae Brissett gets out with a quick closeout, shuts it down. He surprised Porter with his speed there, and that's a travel because Porter left his feet. Now inbounding under the basket, Sexton gets a step on McCaw, but Chris Boucher is lurking in the lane to hit him with the block Quebecois. Nice work by the big man to save the easy basket. Boucher surprises guys with his length like this. It feels like at least a couple times a game. Now the Cavs work the two-man game to try to get Serge Ibaka switched onto Darius Garland. It eventually works. Garland pulls it back out to go one-on-one with them. Hits him with a little bit of shake and bake action, tries to shoot the step back, but Serge gets a piece of it. Nice work by the big man on the perimeter. And now the Cavs work the ball to Kevin Love at the high post area. The Raptors eventually come over with the double. The ball goes to the elbow, and Fred fairly straight up on the closeout here lets Porter get a step on him, but Serge is there at the rim with a great shot contest. Love that help, D. Here, Lowry gets hung up on the screen, but as the ball goes out to the wing, check out the way he stays in the lane to cut off Darius Garland's path to the basket. Garland pulls it back out, and as Lowry relaxes, he gets a step on him. Serge is in the lane to force the pass to Tristan Thompson, and Rondé and Lowry converge on him, deflect the ball out of bounds. Nice work to recover and break that up. Here Rondé putting a little pressure on Kevin Love, and as he hands the ball off, check out OG coming over to cut off the lane to the basket. OG recovers to Osman, and then as Osman drives, McCaw helps on that, and then still plays ball denial on his own man. Thompson tries to throw the pass down low with McCaw pressuring, the Cavs recover it, and then Darius Garland tries to pull it out and go at Fred VanVleet. That's usually a mistake. Fred blocks him at the buzzer of the shot clock here. And I want to talk about the shot contest from Fred. Watch how he reaches out with the left, but now he's in a vulnerable position for a foul, so he actually switches hands that he contests this shot with. And that's the sort of subtle things that elite defenders do. Now in transition, Osman tries to go at the much smaller VanVleet, but Fred strips him for another block. The Raps get out on a fast break of their own. The ball finds Kyle Lowry, who puts it up and in. And this last 2 minutes of the second quarter was when the Raptors really started to put a stamp on the game, I thought. Here, Serge with the challenge. The ball ping-pongs around until Lowry deflects it to OG. Toronto gets out running, and they find Serge in the corner. He should probably be taking this three to get the 2-for-1. Luckily for him, Colin Sexton falls asleep on Kyle Lowry, the 2-for-1 king. He drains the three. And then as the quarter closes out, the Cavs brick another shot. The Raptors get out in transition again. Rondé with the and-one finish. The Raps go into halftime with a 16-point lead, and the Cavs would never get it back into single digits in the second half. Here, Fred is guarding Osman, and Osman takes him under the basket as the ball goes to the corner, but Lowry gets his hands up, and Fred is lurking there, so Garland decides against the pass. He pulls it out, comes off the screen, and Lowry does a nice job of staying in the play. He pokes the ball away here off Serge's knee. That's almost a turnover. The ball goes back out, and Kevin Love ends up getting a drifting, contested three-pointer. Pretty good result for the defense there. Cavs with a really quick give and go here, and Rondé and Fred do a nice job with the switch. Because of that, Serge doesn't have to rotate over, so when Sexton tries to throw the pass over the top to Thompson, Serge is right there on the catch. Thompson tries to pass it out, but Serge is all over him. That's a turnover, and that's just great pressure from the Raps. Now Rondé with a pretty nifty move to try to get to the basket, but Love blocks him. He gets the ball, tries to outlet it, but OG is right there. He snatches it up. Back to Rondé, who makes sure it goes this time. And that turnover is created by OG's willingness to get back and hustle on defense. Here as Garland comes off the screen, check out Pat McCaw staying with him on his hip. So as Garland gets into the air, the shot isn't there, so he has to try and throw a pass to the cutting Kevin Love. But Rondé's pressuring him. That's a tough catch, and the ball goes out of bounds. That's another turnover for the Cavs. Here the Cavs work the ball at the top to try to force the switch. They eventually get it, but as the ball goes to the wing, check out McCaw reading this play. He steps into the passing lane, steals it, gets it to Rondé, who takes it to the other end and finishes. And now off the Cavs stop, Kyle Lowry does a great job of getting back. The ball goes to Kevin Porter, and Lowry blocks him in transition. The refs call a foul, but the Raps challenge it, and it's overturned, and that's great work by Lowry. Great hands. He's an expert at shutting down the fast break. Here, as Larry Nance gets the ball in the high post, Dellavedova sets a screen for Kevin Porter to try and get Terence Davis switched onto him. Davis playing all sorts of ball denial, but as Porter tries to cut to the basket, check out how Boucher steps back into the lane to try to cut off this pass. Even though Terence Davis kind of already has it, that's a mistake by Boucher. Larry Nance puts up the 15-footer. It goes in, and I would have liked to see Boucher force Nance to make that tough pass over the top. He's not a noted passer like Jokic or something. And in fact, on the very next trip down the court, Larry Nance tries to throw a tough bounce pass to Matthew Dellavedova. It goes out of bounds. And that's what happens when you force offensive players to do things that are a little bit outside their skill set. Here the Cavs run some action on the top to try to force some switches. They eventually get Fred VanVleet switched on to Kevin Love. Serge sees this and pretty much starts doubling Kevin Love even though he doesn't have the ball yet. And check out how Kyle Lowry is shading down towards Tristan Thompson to try to cut off that pass, and that doesn't really work if this is a real shooter on the wing, but it's Kevin Porter. The Cavs throw the pass over the top to Tristan Thompson. He saves it inbounds to Kevin Love, and Fred VanVleet with the block and strip. Great hands as always. Fred VanVleet, one of the best in the business on the perimeter. Here Rondé slips at the top as he gets switched onto Kevin Porter, who comes off the screen, and check out how low Kyle Lowry is in his stance on the weak side here. He knows what's coming, and he gets into the lane for the deflection, almost gets the steal there. Nice work by Lowry, great awareness. And then on this play, check out the hands of Fred VanVleet to break up this initial action. And then as they try to run the screen again, Serge and Fred do a great job of just shutting it down. Nothing comes off that. The Cavs have to kick it back up to the top, and with the shot clock running down, they wind up having to take the contested pull-up three-pointer, and that's no good. Nice work by the Raptors to just not give them anything easy there. Now in garbage time, O'Shea Brissett on Darius Garland does a nice job of moving his feet and staying with him. Then Malcolm Miller bites on the pump fake. That's a mistake. Luckily the help is there, and then Brissett and Malcolm Miller combine to shut down this driving angle. The Cavs try to throw a tough pass and Boucher is there, and that's going to be a ball game. That's it for 2019 from the Raptors as they close out their championship year, getting their 70th win in the calendar year. That's a franchise record. And the Raptors are 23-11 now, and let's just hope that in 2020 guys get healthy and the Raptors are a little less bitten by the injury bug. Happy New Year, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the Raptors defense in the comments.